Okay, we're live.
Just looking for the agenda. Why am I not finding that?
I'm going to be off screen for a couple seconds, but I'm here in my ear.
Give me one moment. I'm just pulling up the agenda.
I will say, Lisa, when I first woke up, it wasn't snowing, but now it's coming down hard over here in Trumbull.
Yeah, same here.
Yep, it's snowing like crazy here too.
Yeah.
All right, so I guess we'll call the meeting to order. It's the January 20th at 9:10 a.m. Communications Committee meeting. We'll start with the approval of minutes from our meeting on Tuesday, December 21st. Has everyone had a chance to review them?
Mhm.
Okay. Any questions or clarifications, changes?
Nope.
Okay. So in that case, can I get a motion to approve the minutes from our Tuesday, December 21st communication meeting?
I make a
So
motion.
moved.
So moved. There we go.
We are efficient. Right. So in that case, then let's turn it over to, I guess, Lisa or Dan for a social media update.
Sure. So our Facebook page is doing well. We crossed the 500 page like mark. So, and we're getting good interaction with our Facebook page now that we've kind of separated out what Instagram and Facebook do. For a while, they were overlapping and basically doing similar things. And we've kind of changed the direction for both of them. So we're getting good interaction. We have quite a wide reach with everybody. So, you know, we're reaching around 567 people per post, which is working out really well. Obviously, as of lately, the most interacted with posts are the school cancellation posts. But all of the other ones that we're putting on there, you know, I try as soon as we go live with the Board of Ed meeting, because, you know, the live link for the Board of Ed meetings, I can't pre-post the live link. The link is created at the moment I click go live. So part of my process is as soon as I go live, I copy the link, I immediately go to the Facebook page, I post the link on the Facebook page. We have a good amount of reach for that. And I did also want to bring up, or as an addition to social media, because I guess we can kind of say that our YouTube is a form of social media. We average about 10 to 30 people watching our streamed meetings live, and then when we finish going live, the video is then immediately available to watch on demand. We have anywhere from 50 to 150 views per meeting. It really does depend on the meeting and what the topics are of the meeting. But we do have a lot of people who do watch it, and they're watching at least 20 minutes of the meeting. So it's not like they're clicking on it, watching 30 seconds, and then moving on. So they are watching some of it. You know, of course, there's never going to be an expectation that they're going to watch an entire 4-hour meeting after the fact. But, you know, 20 minutes is pretty good. We're also now publishing all subcommittee meetings up on the YouTube page. So as soon as they're done, whether it's June or Andrew, or they will then send me the link. I upload that on there. So now all official meetings are now going up on our webpage, on our YouTube page. So we're getting good interaction with that. Our Instagram page, I don't know if I said this last meeting, but we officially crossed 1,000 followers.
Yes, I'm so excited. I just saw we have to get past 1,300 and then we surpass the high school. I've been watching it. That's why when I just saw, I was like, you passed.
And that's somewhat personal for Lisa.
Yeah, exactly.
No competition.
in a weird way, Lisa is in competition with herself because she ran the high school Instagram page. Now she doesn't anymore, so she's competing against herself. So that's good. But yeah, we're at 1,012 followers, so that's
Yeah.
amazing.
300 more. Reach out to your friends and family.
So it's good. We have a lot of great posts. We have a lot of good interactions. We have a lot of people who are at least viewing the pictures, a lot of people who are interacting with the pictures. I really like how we have the administrators also posting. So it's a myriad of information that we're putting on there. And, it's nice to see that we're spreading the good word and showing the positive things that we're doing in the district. And so, seeing Lisa running around the buildings with the phone out, snapping pictures, posting them, seeing the principals post all these nice things. It's really a good thing to see. And you can tell because our audience has almost doubled in size since Lisa took over the district Instagram account. So kudos, Lisa, for that one.
Well, and I have to say, like you said, it's a group effort, but like just the other day it was from, I think it was Eliza Tabashi, the kindergarten teacher. Teachers are sending me photos, like the one about the Martin Luther King project she did. They just send them. And I say that anytime I see them, like just send me photos. So it's great that they're contributing as well. I think it creates a fun spirit in the, I'm having a good time in the district.
It is, and it's spreading the positivity, and I think that's really important right now. With all the stress that everybody's going through right now, the power of positivity to show that, although things are not normal by any stretch of the means, by seeing all the fun things that everyone's doing in the classes, I think that's something that should be highlighted. So, great job. For next is Lisa's wonderful podcast, What's Up in the Weston Public Schools.
Those are so good. I have to
give
tell
them
you.
a preview. What's coming up this week?
I have a quick backup question because I definitely want to hear about the What's Up from Lisa. I'm worried that she's going to get recruited by some talent agency, but I happen to know, since I'm on some meetings with Lisa, she's got plenty of bandwidth. So I can.
I don't know what that really means, but I think it sounds good.
All the time to also be the superintendent, attend all the meetings that we ask you to attend, and then also be a social media rock star with podcasts.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I'm convinced that Lisa doesn't sleep. That's what I'm convinced at this.
Hey, I have my new app, my ring that tracks my sleep.
Oh my God.
That's what my fiance got me. Apparently, I didn't have a good night last night because I was so tense about the snow day. But no, it's all good. I feel like I've been reborn in a new role, and it's all thanks to Dan DeVito's mentorship with my podcast. And we have one we're releasing this week. And on Friday, I'm making another one with our beloved bus driver, John, who drove the girls to the volleyball games and the championships and all that. So I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, and on Friday, so the one we're releasing on Friday is media specialist Sharon Rodko from Hurlbut. And it's just, like you said, Sharon, the conversations are great. Lisa's natural when it comes to interviewing people.
No, you're actually good at listening. That's the really good thing about it.
Yeah, exactly. You're not overpowering by any stretch of the imagination. You ask the question and then you sit back, which is important for podcasts and to get the guests to speak and to speak from the heart. And it's again the power of positivity and really spreading the good word of what individuals are doing in this district. So, Friday morning I'll be releasing it. So, excuse me, give it a listen, and I think everyone will like it.
And then we're doing the bus driver. And then the next one we're doing, just to give you a little preview, is the 2 new social workers at the high school. The one in the Alternative Pathways program and the Dana, the one that serves the overall population. So that will take place. So those are upcoming events in the podcast world.
I think shining a light on the alternative pathways is actually a really good thing because a lot of people are just not familiar with exactly what it is. So I think that's a great way to communicate that. The other thing is, after having our executive session the other day with Tracy, you may actually want to get Tracy in there and talk to her, because that is, a lot of questions are surrounding special education. And I think that special education for a lot of people, people who are not necessarily involved in special education, it's like they have a preconceived
Yeah, sure.
notion. And so I think if you could get her in there to talk about what qualifies as falling under her special education umbrella, people will start to understand just how much work and time goes into her department. And, especially as we're in the midst of budget season, they'll understand that special education actually is a really labor intensive part of the budget and, requires a substantial amount of money. And, our hands are tied because of legal issues and things like that. I think she was so good in that executive session. She would be just my thoughts. She would be a really great podcast.
Yeah, I think maybe I like that idea, or perhaps doing a triad of her and the 2 assistant directors, because we have the new one that's coming on board who's absolutely lovely. So that might be that's a great idea, Sharon. Thank you. So we'll add that to the list. And then I'm going to do one for Frankie and Pedro, our groundskeepers. I think that's going to be a bilingual one because they, then we can have all of our Spanish students listen because they're great. They're both from Puerto Rico, and they're so dedicated to the school.
Awesome.
And I will say we've expanded on Lisa's international stardom. So as of right now, the countries that have listened, I love listing this stuff because it amazes me. So Germany, Australia, Poland, Puerto Rico, Philippines, and United Kingdom have all listened to the podcast. So you're getting quite the reach.
They're in quarantine, and they're on quarantine, and they have nothing else to do.
But see, what I will also say though is it's not like they're stumbling upon it and then being like, "Oh, I didn't mean to listen to this." The people in the other countries are actually listening to the entire podcast.
Oh.
I'm going to echo David's sentiment of we have to be really careful here because she's going to be recruited away.
Oh,
Yeah, no.
Well, in all fairness, I did listen to one from a superintendent whose name escapes me in Washington State. When Dan and I were talking about it, I was like, let me hear somebody else do it. So I think that the more people that do it, more power to them, because it's great.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. And it's not, Lisa doesn't make it about her at all. She's highlighting the staff member, the person who she's interviewing. So, so stay tuned for this Friday when Sharon Rodko comes out. And then, as you heard, Lisa has a bunch of others in the hopper. So we'll be releasing more podcasts coming up.
Awesome.
Yeah, and I have a couple of questions in no particular order, just to kind of cover social media.
Yeah.
So in no particular order, the first question actually for you two. So do you happen to know, you mentioned a lot of people watch the videos after they're posted.
Right.
Do you have the ability to know if these are the same person that might be watching it 3 or 4 times to recapture part of it, or are these all unique people?
Unique. They're unique.
Okay. So if somebody, so someone wants to recapture part of the meeting and, look at it 3 or 4 times, make sure they heard part of it. That's not 3 or 4 views.
That's correct. Yeah, it counts the single person if they watch it multiple times at different times. That still is counted as 1 view. It just adds on to the total time that they've watched that video.
Okay. Because one of the issues that has come up is, as you know, last time we spoke, we looked at maybe adding more public comment. And there, at the Board of Ed meeting the other day, it kind of came up that we might be looking to solve a problem that doesn't exist. So we don't have a lot of people who view it live, it seems. But if they go back later and they view it, they seem to be able to get the information they want. And it stands to reason if they wanted to have public comment or at our next meeting, they would come and participate live. So we're getting a lot more post live views than live views.
Yeah, 100%. Because I try to scan back and forth during the meetings to see how many live viewers there are, and it depends on the meeting. The majority of the meetings, it's 10 to 20. When we've had beginning of the year meetings, those jump up. The budget presentation, that jumps up. There are times where we can have over 100 people viewing it. But then most of the time for standard meetings, it does go back down. But that is honestly no different than most of the other school districts. When I was streaming in my previous places, that was around the number that you would get for live streams. So it is par for the course. I don't want anyone to think that the amount of viewers is a negative thing. I think it just comes down to the timing of the meetings. A lot of times when we start the meeting, perhaps people are eating dinner or they're taking their children to somewhere for sports or whatever. So, it is par for the course. So I don't want anyone to take that as a negative, the amount of viewers that we have watching the videos. But you did hit the nail on the head. People are going back and they are watching it. And it's funny seeing the subcommittee meetings. Some meetings are more popular to view afterwards than others.
You should share that with us at some point, and we'll see whose committees are the popular ones, and then we'll have some kind of duel. I don't know, or
right. Yeah, you guys, play, have a friendly bet to see which one gets the most views, and then I'll end up letting you guys know afterwards.
Maybe we should do that. Maybe we should do that with the Instagram. I'm going to post and say, come on, we want to surpass the high schools.
Why not? I mean, you can totally promote. We can self-promote like that. Why not?
Yeah.
Related to the Instagram and stuff. So some people have asked me, and I went looking the other day, because I post reminders on Facebook about some of our meetings. I do it as I can. I have other responsibilities, and I sort of learned, and I think Kathy helped me out once. I sort of learned that no good deed goes unpunished. I posted later than somebody wanted me to, and I posted because it was a political intent or something crazy. But point being is, the other day I was asked where else it's posted, and so I never say where else it's posted until I can see it with my own eyes. I went to the Weston Public Schools, so I'm only a Facebook user. I'm not Instagram or these other ones. I didn't see the posts on the Weston Public Schools Facebook. Did I miss it, or we haven't started that yet?
No, I had done it in December. I had done the scheduling, and then the speed of January came by too fast, and I did not have a chance. So I do apologize for that. What I have is I have a note for myself to do the scheduling starting in February. So the plan will be the beginning of February. I'm going to do a post on Facebook listing all of the upcoming meeting dates, and then schedule reminders for each meeting 24 hours before the meeting, which will also include the links to the Zoom if it's a Board of Ed meeting for public comment, or the call-in number or the Google Meet link if it's a subcommittee meeting. So I do apologize for that, David, but you are correct. Ultimately that will all end up being on Facebook.
Okay, because my intention is I will be able to reshare those posts, so
Yes.
I become more of a backup than a go-to. Okay,
Right, and that's a good way to look at it. Just sharing it on your page, and decreases any kind of anything that could potentially happen.
right. Okay, and then also related, two things. I know that somebody had emailed us something that actually I think brought to the board's attention either when I first was on the board or at some point. There's a big what do you want to call it? There's a disconnect, no pun intended, between the Weston Town website as it relates to the Weston Public Schools and the Weston Public Schools website. And is that something I think we talked about, either asking the town of Weston to simply take the public schools information down and just put a link to us so that we're the repository for the information, or figuring out a way to work closer with them, because the information on the town's website is a combination of inaccurate. I think it's got incorrect information, and it links to broken sites. So you get this confusion from people. Where are we at with either asking the town to be more up to date or taking us off as far as providing information, just a link instead?
So what I did was I reached out to the town yesterday regarding the broken link that we had received notification about, to tell the town to fix it, and they have gone ahead and they have fixed it. What really needs to come down to is they're going to ultimately post stuff. So like we don't post town related stuff. We just link to the town page because they're the one who updates it. What I need to do is I need to sit and take a look and just kind of search around the town's page and see what's a broken link, what has incorrect information. So, like, for instance, there are some pages they have to keep, like the board page, right? Because it lists all of the elected officials for all of the different boards for the town. So something like that has to exist on the town's page with a link to the Board of Ed section to our website. That Board of Ed section link was broken. It was going to a link for our old website that we had before I started here. But those are the ones I can kind of keep an eye on to say, hey, if it's inaccurate, to let them know, hey, fix it. Because they had a good turnaround time. I mean, I emailed them yesterday morning, and by this morning, that link was already fixed. So I think it's just a matter of kind of going through the page and then being more proactive with, if there's changes, large-scale changes on our end, me notifying the town so they can update things on their end. And then also, if there are some pages that I feel, you know what, this probably doesn't need to exist in the town site, it's probably better to just link it to a direct page on our site, I'll let them know.
Okay. And then the last item in my list was, so there's this term that we got that there aren't, the links to the YouTube streaming or Zoom aren't live links. So that my understanding of that is that a live link is something where if you see a URL in a document or on a web page, you can click on it and it brings you to that site. Is that because of the way that the documents are uploaded and scanned, or is that?
So that's a two-piece answer. So we post the Zoom and the live stream links in two sections. One goes on the district calendar, which is a Google Calendar that then rolls up on our main page of our district website. It's like under events calendar. Those links are live. The issue in question was the URLs on BoardBook for some reason weren't going live. So on our district website under BOE, there's a meetings header, and under there's a link that says like BOE meetings calendar. And if you click on that, it redirects to BoardBook, the public view of BoardBook, which lists all upcoming and previous meetings. Those links, for some reason, even though they were in there properly, they weren't hyperlinks. They weren't live links. So I kind of worked. I talked to Jody. We were working on like, why is this happening? Because it was odd. Because on my computer, the links were not live. On Jody's computer, the links were live, but we were both looking at the public-facing page of BoardBook. So it was wonky. So we sat and we looked, and I'm pretty confident we have that issue resolved, that the links that we are posting on BoardBook should now be live. As a stopgap, the links that are on our district calendar will always be live. And it's nothing that anybody has to do. I don't know if you guys have ever sent a hyperlink in an email. You're not actually turning that into a live link. As soon as you hit enter or send the email, it automatically makes that a hyperlink for everybody, where you get, it's been blue and it's underlined. For some reason, BoardBook wasn't automatically doing that. It was wonky, but I'm pretty confident that we have that resolved.
All right, and my last question, I think, for Lisa. So I came with a whole bunch of questions. Maybe it's for Dan. Somebody asked me, and I think I explained it, but I'd like clarification. They asked me again about notifications of meetings, and they asked me why we can't use the town's notification system. And I just said, I don't think there's a technical reason we can't use it. There just wasn't interest, or it was not, they felt it was going to be overused. So then the question became, why can't we use the notification system the schools use? And I said, I think because it's limited only to parents and guardians of enrolled students. And the intent is, if we have a Board of Ed meeting, we want to send it out to everybody in the community, whether you have a child enrolled in a school or not. Is that right? I remember we
Yes.
did talk about using, is it Swift Reach is what the school uses
Yes.
and the town uses?
Yeah,
Right.
I think that's exactly it. Also, we don't want to be email inundating people. And I do worry about the wider community. Like, for example, I had 3 conversations this week with citizens of the community, people that kids graduated, about different things. And so we certainly want to make sure that they are kept in the loop, as is our current families. So I think that, every month I put it in the principal's update. I had to postpone my meeting with the PTO presidents. I'm going to reiterate that about putting it on the PTO. We try to get out, especially like with this upcoming public forum. I think all of you got the email because your parents. Well, I think we send it also to Board of Ed to keep them in the loop about the public forum one. But for regular meetings, I think the idea is to make it more prominent on the website, and we don't want to miss anybody that won't get it because they don't have a kid in the school. And like I said, there are quite a few people that I do talk to every week that are asked. I was on the phone yesterday with somebody for 45 minutes, and the person's kid, is my kid's age, graduated and long gone. So we want to make sure, and that person clearly is watching these meetings. I mean, I can see even last night, facilities optimization committee, and that's kind of the town we saw. Well, David was on the meeting. You see some people that are on there that are, they don't have kids in the school anymore, but they're curious, and rightfully so.
And David, you're absolutely correct. Swift Reach, there's no way to add non-parent guardians into Swift Reach. So that's because it classifies itself as a rapid emergency notification system. So it's different than like, what was that?
I keep getting these spam phone calls.
Right.
Spam on my
Yeah,
screen. I don't know.
Can you get me off that phone call in the morning? Because I'm the one that makes the decision now, and it woke me up when I was dozing back off. Who is it?
Was it about your car warranty?
No, it was about the schools being closed. I don't need to know. Can I share some information about specifically how we've been trying to publish things about the public budget? Perhaps it would be helpful. So I took the budget presentation link, and I know that Tony knows. I don't know if the rest of you knew. I sent it to the all of the people, the Board of Selectmen and the Board of Finance. And I said that, I invited them to see the link ahead of time. I mean, clearly they can go to the town website or our website and get it, but I wanted to put it out there for them for our respective meetings in February and March. And I plan on doing the same when all the workshops are done, and then the actual vote, to organize the links again in a meeting, to just send it out to make it that much more user friendly, to keep the town boards in the loop. I also sent out the budget presentation link to the families, inviting them to the meeting tonight, because sometimes it just makes, I think, it easier whether if they can come or they can't come. The other thing I did was I sent it out to the staff, because I want the staff to be able to watch it. And the other thing is that I made an appointment in each building, although today's the middle school and it got snowed out, where I go and I sit in the building, or I go to where the different teams and things have lunch, and I'm available to answer any budget questions. Now, a lot of times the teachers, it's the basic question of, are we losing a section? Oh, we're losing a 5th grade section. What's going to happen? The 5th grade team. But people have asked certain questions. It's also been a great way to connect with the staff and to make sure that they get their questions answered, if they have any. And we are going also to the PTOs. Today's presentation is canceled from the middle school PTO, but we've already planned on a rescheduling, and that will be more school specific. So if people have questions specifically about a particular area of the budget as it relates to the schools that they're in, that they're able to, to get answers. And I think it's been well received, knock on wood. We're trying to be as responsive as we can in getting all of the answers cleared up. It's kind of like what you said, David, it's a two-edged sword. On our original schedule, we had said that we do all of the question answers, I think by like the 19th, or it was like around now. And we wanted to get them out sooner, because I think it's important you have them as soon as possible. And then people are, well, this was posted less than 24 hours before the next workshop. Yeah, it was, but it was about 4 days ahead of schedule. Like we're doing the best we can in getting the information out. Why wait? And we just sent you something. I sent you something again this morning, because the more informed people are, the better they are in being able to, to understand and what questions to ask. And yes, we will be posting those documents as well. So that's kind of an update as far as the communication with the whole budget process, if you will.
All right, so I think that is our social media update and the WPS podcast.
What's next?
Any new business? We are efficient.
I do have something I didn't put on the agenda, but I wanted to mention. So I am working, it was kind of put on pause because we're thinking about the timing. I think you recall I talked about like a 5 to 8 page brochure type thing.
Yeah. Like the Norwalk one.
Similar to that, exactly. And so I have to get back on the track with kind of updating that. The goal would be to get it out, February, March, something like that. I think March is probably a more realistic goal. And it would basically be kind of we talked about it. This is the vision. This is about the schools. It's not geared to publicize the budget. It's geared to talk about what's the work we're doing right now in the district and how we're tackling our strategic goals, what we're focusing on per building. And that will go out to every family. So we haven't forgotten about it. It was just put on pause a little bit,
Right.
Given the budget season and all that.
Great.
Good.
I'll take 20 minutes back if we're done.
Oh, wow.
We are efficient, David.
We are.
And I just want to say for the record,
I
that I'm looking out the window right now, and this is not a snowstorm. Okay, I'm Canadian. Like in Montreal, if the only way that school was canceled is if you couldn't get the door opened because the snow was blocking the door. You put warm-ups on. We call them warm-ups up there. You put warm-ups on and boots, and you walked up to your knees in the snow to school. So I just got to say, this is like flurries to me.
But you also lived with chains permanently on your tires, right?
Yes.
One thing involving communication, I don't know, I guess it's sort of communication. It's regarding the district offices. And, moving forward, when we close the schools, the district offices will make a decision on that afterwards. Like I said to everyone, let me look at at 9:30, 10 o'clock. Like I know I'm going in. I certainly don't want to put anybody in harm's way.
No, Lisa, you made the right decision. I'm just saying.
No, I'm just saying
about cultural norm. That's all.
No, I know you sound like Dan Joke said, I was like in the Midwest. He grew up in the Midwest. He said, you get up early and you leave. So he did that the day that we had that late, the ice storm.
Yeah.
And he was literally, I can look out my window and see I-95, the bridge. He was literally, I'm on the phone and he's like, yep, I'm stuck here. The poor guy was stuck like 3 hours because he had that Midwest mentality and he got up and he left the house early. And it's like,
I know.
So we may have afternoon events, just putting in a plug for anyone that hears, we'll evaluate after 12 o'clock, but I can't see not having them if we can do it safely because, I don't want the kids to miss out, quite frankly.
Hold on. Now I have a question for you. The athletics will be canceled for the team or for the kids?
No, we will decide that at noon. Generally, what we do is we send something out separately to that group, any of the groups like the theater or the athletics, any group that's using the facility. And it will depend on the ability to make sure that, everything is iced and safe, which, we do anticipate by 3 o'clock. Hopefully it'll be fine.
I have a skier.
The only thing today is practices.
Sharon, what do you have?
I have a skier who needs to miss this ski race tonight because he's got 2 hard midterms tomorrow. And I'm just like, and they can't.
The midterm schedule changed. Just
Did it?
putting it out there. Yeah.
It did?
It
now they're going to be on Monday, right?
Yeah, they move it up. So they move the, the schedule changes.
So anything that was supposed to be tomorrow is on Monday?
Well, I can't say Monday. I would say look at the schedule. I didn't read it, but I know they move it up. So
They
Where do you
communicated,
find where do you find that schedule?
they email it out.
they communicated that to the kids yesterday.
The kids probably have it.
No day.
Okay.
This is
Okay.
when it'll happen.
All right, we're off topic,
Right.
but thank
They
you.
have it.
That's
Yeah,
helpful.
thanks. Awesome.
All
All right. Perfect.
Dan DeVito,
So-
can I talk to you for a second when we're over, just to put that out there? Thank you.
All right. So I think we are efficient. We are the best subcommittee that is. So
It's the most fun.
it's
Yes.
the most social. So then I guess, can I get a motion to adjourn the meeting?
I make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
And a second?
Second, thank you, everybody.
Yes, thank you.
Everyone, see you this evening.
Enjoy
All
your
right.
day.
Oh, yeah.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
All right. Bye, everybody.